So, my last video, the one about Olivia Rodrigo and Lorde, did surprisingly well, actually. People seem to like it. So, I wanted to do this video in kind of a similar mini video essay style, but I started writing it before Wandavision actually concluded, and that final episode really ruined my point. You see, I had this whole thing about how WandaVision was changing the landscape for the MCU, and how if the show continued being as innovative and strange and different as it was, then Marvel would hopefully profit off that and continue that line with their next few projects, and that the Phase 4 might be a series of weirder, more interesting one off stories as opposed to the huge epic that we had before. Side note, I have no problem with the Infinity Saga being as grandiose and epic as it was. I just feel like it concluded. Like, we did it. We did it already. Look, I saw it. It ended. End game. End game. What is this bit? That was dumb. So, I can't really make that point anymore because, I mean, spoilers, I guess, for WandaVision. I don't know why you'd click on this video if you hadn't seen it, but just in case. I am really torn on that final episode. Like, my thoughts are all over the place. There are things I love in it, don't get me wrong. Scarlet Witch's hit myself in the face with this microphone. Scarlet Witch's new costume design is phenomenal. It's maybe one of my favorite superhero costumes I've ever seen in live action. Yeah, it might be my favorite. I think Scarlet Witch now has my favorite costume design, which is saying something because she's never had a good one before. The Vision versus Vision fight turning into this philosophical debate about the ship of Theseus is so freaking cool. That is such a great understanding of that character and the way he would interact if met with himself, essentially. It is such a well written scene. It's everything I loved about the show beforehand. It's interesting, it's engaging, it's different. I haven't seen it before. But let's not forget that the majority of the finale of WandaVision involved punching and lasers, which is a phrase I'm going to use from now on to describe the ending of a Marvel movie. Because it's all punching and lasers. It's all always punching and lasers. It's punching and lasers. It's all they know. We went from parodying Bewitched back to punching and lasers in a matter of weeks. And that's my main problem with WandaVision. It starts off as this weird Twin Peaks meets Pleasantville mystery, and just over time brings in the idea that it's nothing more than another Marvel show until it's nothing more than another Marvel show. A very good Marvel show, but a Marvel show. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making any sense to some of you, because I understand that people on the opposite side of this debate to me see everything I'm saying as a plus. It's a weird Twin Peaks meets Pleasantville show that slowly becomes a Marvel show, and that's awesome. And if that's your takeaway, power to you. Like, I'm glad you enjoyed something more than I did, because enjoying things is fun. Don't get me wrong, I like enjoying things. I have some nitpicks, but also I'm drinking iced coffee throughout this. It's ASMR. Is that how that works? This video is not as thought out as the other one, the Lord. This is going on too long. That's gonna need cut. The point of the video I was hoping to make was about how WandaVision impacts on the future of Marvel. So let's talk about that. What does this mean for the future of Marvel and for these other seemingly stranger projects we've got coming up? I think WandaVision really does set up some of these more unique sounding and riskier Marvel projects are really going to be. They are riskier and more unique Marvel projects with a big emphasis on the Marvel aspect on that. Again, I'm only going by the first one we've been given. This is this very first thing we had on Phase 4 with Black Widow being pushed back as far as it has been, still to this date not being out. But I think the one thing Marvel have done well here is ensuring that we understand they never promised a weirder, more interesting divulge away from what they had been doing before with the new phase of movies and shows by immediately releasing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As of recording, we are one episode into The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it is far too early to tell if this is going to be great or not, but it shows potential. I really like this first episode. I mean, it opens with this action scene that's kind of like the end of Point Break, but with a robot bird and a higher body count. And the rest of it's this, like, slow indie drama where, like, the Falcon's having money problems and his family has this boat, and it's literally Manchester by the Sea. They put jokes in Manchester by the Sea, and Bucky has PTSD. And not Captain America shows up at the end. And look, I think this is going to be a good show. It's just, starting with the action scene, ending with the Captain America thing. It's clear that they're making a point that as much as we're exploring new ideas, this isn't too different from what we're used to. This isn't going to alienate our audience, which I get isn't something you could really do with the premise of WandaVision, but it makes me feel like WandaVision shouldn't have been released first. I want to stress one last time that even though I have a few complaints about WandaVision, this is still a great show. It's leagues ahead of any other superhero show I've ever seen. Just, no show is perfect, okay? Okay, 3 shows are perfect. Temptation to just flash the Game of Thrones poster on screen after that. It's really annoy people. But hey, let me know, what did you think of WandaVision? I've been talking about this show with literally anyone that's willing to talk to me about it, and I'm having so much fun with this discussion, so please get involved. Tweet at me, my Twitter will be in the description below, comment, whatever. Just, get involved. Tell me what you think. What do you think the future for Marvel is? What do you think WandaVision should they have that much impact? What are you thinking about Falcon or Soldier? Are you liking it? Are you not? Whatever. And while you're at it, just hit that little like button and make that red subscribe button a grey subscribe button. It's a fun little trick YouTube does. Just if you want to do that, then you can. It's an option. Just would be appreciated. Also, quick announcement. I am working on a new podcast. That's right, it's called Midnight Screening, reuniting with my What Now co-host Ty and, for the first time, our good friend Josh. And we will be talking about cult classic movies, so bad they're good movies, sort of underrated hidden gems, and figuring out whether or not they're actually worth a second look, whether or not they're worth your time. So stay tuned for updates on when that's actually coming out. It'll be a little bit in the future. We're still in the midst of working on our first season, but keeping it to the ground. I think we've got something quite cool here, so I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Also, when I was asking my friends for their opinions on WandaVision, Josh called it very superhero-y, so I mean, you gotta listen to this show for top-notch media criticisms like that. I mean, tough. He's gonna hate me for that. Anyway, that's all I really gotta say. I'll see you.